Intimate relationships give us the greatest joy, but can also give us the greatest pain. This film is about one of the most important components of relationships, trust, and how creating trust can transform every relationship. It is also about how to face our deepest fears, tap into our inner strength, and bring to our partners what they need most. Trust is formed not during easy times, but in defining moments of difficulty and stress, when our loyalties, our priorities, and our commitment come into question. When you can create trust in these moments, the relationship will grow and flourish. When during these moments you fail to increase trust, you will have difficulty making progress. This film will give you clear, effective principles for building trust, even when trust has been lost for a long time. You will witness one couple that was able to overcome years of accumulated anger and distrust and find a new vision for living, loving, and growing together. We begin with Anthony Robbins speaking at a conference in the Gold Coast of Australia. An Australian woman, Samantha, stands up to ask a question. In the recent past, she and her husband have been going days at a time without speaking. At this point, they had already told their 4 children about their plans to divorce.
How am I meant to be true to myself and do what I want to do and pursue things that I want to do and need to do for myself if I have 4 children that rely on me and a controlling husband?
I see. Now, how do you define controlling?
Oh, did it hurt?
Oh, that was very warm. When you turned around and went, did that hurt? And looked at him like that, which one of the 6 needs were you pursuing?
Number 3, significance.
Yes, thank you. Give her a hand for that honesty. That's very nice.
According to human needs psychology, we are all driven by the need to fulfill 6 basic human needs. These are not just desires or wants, but profound needs which serve as the basis for every choice we make. The first need is for certainty, that we can be comfortable, a secure environment, consistency in our relationships. Once we have met our basic need for certainty, however, our second need is for uncertainty, for variety and the challenges which will exercise our emotional and physical range. The third need is for significance. Every person needs to feel important, needed, wanted, and worthy of love. The fourth need is for the experience of love and connection. Everyone needs connection with other human beings, and everyone strives for and hopes for love. The fifth need is for growth. When we stop growing, we die. We need to constantly develop emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. The sixth need is for contribution, to go beyond our own needs and give to others. These 6 needs can be met in positive ways which lead to pleasure, or negative ways which lead to pain. Whenever people continually experience pain and failure, it is because instead of looking for a genuine solution, they are settling for meeting their needs in a low-quality way. For instance, it is possible to meet one's needs for significance and certainty in a proactive way by making changes in your life. However, it is possible to meet your needs for significance and certainty in a reactive way, by holding on to problems that never get solved. For instance, you have the certainty that your problems will be there always, and you have the significance of having major problems. When you get too accustomed to your problems, you stop making progress in your life and in your relationship. From Samantha's very first words, we know that she is angry and frustrated about her marriage and family situation. Clearly, she lost trust in her husband some time ago.
What other need were you pursuing and fulfilling in that moment? Stand up. You stood up for a reason. It's time to handle this. Come on, stand up. What's your first name again?
Sam.
Sam? Sam, did you ever have a nickname that wasn't a male name?
No.
Can I call you Sammy?
No.
Do you have a middle name?
Judy.
I'm going to call you Judy. Who are you closer to, your mother or your father? I know you love them both, I'm sure, but...
No.
No, you
would be
didn't.
my mother.
Tell me about your mother.
I don't want to.
That's why you need to, honey. Do you want to be free or do you want to stay enslaved? Because right now it's not hard. How many see her enslaved to something? Right? And I think everybody here admires your courage, but your courage will only work if you keep it. You just can't have courage for a moment. And I know you're a courageous woman or you wouldn't raise your hand in the first place because you knew what was going to happen before you raised your hand.
No,
Oh, yes, you did.
question. You didn't do a long question for him.
Yeah.
You just answered it.
But there's a reason you raised your hand. It was beyond what
Because
you
I was
consciously.
pissed off with what you were saying.
Yes. Which part pissed you off the most?
That things can change in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I know. Why did that piss you off? Because they haven't for you?
No.
Then why would that piss you off?
No, because it hasn't. It hasn't. It doesn't.
It doesn't or it hasn't?
It doesn't.
How do you know? If you haven't done it yet, how do you know that it doesn't? How do you know it just hasn't since you haven't done it yet?
Because I've tried for the past 6 weeks.
Yes.
It's.
What were you trying? What were you trying? Trying something with Darryl? I assume it's had to do with Darryl, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
When you are unhappy with your relationship, it is essential that you clarify exactly what you want to experience with your partner. When Samantha says that her husband doesn't change, she is disempowering herself because she is making their problems seem impossible to change. In order to become effective in her relationship, she needs to stop her habit of helpless frustration and to become curious about how she could create change in her life. Now, Tony will help her to interrupt her pattern of frustration and helplessness.
What'd you try? By the way, trying never works, does it?
No.
So you knew that before you started, that it wouldn't work as long as you tried. Because if I asked you to, try to pick up that chair, go ahead, try to pick it up. The chair you were sitting in, try to pick it up.
Pick it up.
I said, try to pick it up. No, you picked it up. I said, try to pick it up. You asked me, should I pick it up or should I try? I said, you should try to pick it up. No, now you're not picking it up. You either pick it up or you don't or you try.
I have been trying. I've been
I
following
know. Go
through
ahead.
and doing.
Try to pick up the chair, please. I'm asking you honestly. Try to pick up the chair.
I did.
No, you picked it up.
Oh, for f***'s sake. What
Try to pick it up.
do you mean?
What's that? Now you're not picking it up. I said, try to pick it up.
Go to pick it up?
Yeah, try to pick it up.
So far, Samantha has been hesitating about whether or not she wanted to engage with Tony. She stood up, and then she sat down. She answered a question about her mother, but she didn't want to talk about her. She said she tried to change her life, and then she said that change is impossible. As long as she continues to vacillate, she is not allowing Tony to help her, because at any point she can just back out. For Tony to make progress with her, she needs to stop hesitating and to commit to specific results with her husband. The exercise with the chair puts Tony in charge of her inability to take decisive action.
No, you're not picking it up. I said, try to pick it up. No, you picked it up. I'm asking you to try to pick it up so we can see what you did with your husband. Try to pick it up. Okay? Good, just stay there, keep trying. No, now you're not picking it up. Try to pick it up, that's it. Keep trying. No, don't pick it up. No, now you're not picking it up. Try to pick it up. Do what you've been doing with your husband, and let's see if we can figure out why it's not working. Just stay there and keep trying. How many weeks did you do this for? No, now you're not picking it up. Keep trying. Try to pick it up. Are you trying? I don't see you trying. I see you not picking it up.
This has nothing to do with what I've been doing.
Really? Do it again. Let's see. Who sees that this is exactly what she's been doing? Keep your eyes on around the horizon.
Just agreeing with him.
Oh yeah, they're just agreeing with him. Go ahead. Try to pick it up. And while you try to pick it up, tell me about your mother.
No, I don't want to. I choose not to.
Okay. So if you want to stay enslaved, that's okay with me. Go ahead and let go of the chair. What you did just now is what you've been doing with your husband. You don't do it, and you don't not do it. You put out effort.
I've got no idea.
I know because of what you told me. You told me you tried. I know what try is in the human nervous system. It's a justification to try to justify that we really did do our part, and we didn't fail because we didn't do what was necessary or were fearful. It's because the thing just didn't come together. And you're not committed to connecting with your husband. You're committed to being right.
That's bullshit.
Well, great. Then turn around and face me and tell me about your mother.
Don't hold the chair.
Are you like holding on to the chair? Is this angle of your back comfortable? If it is, it's okay with me. But how many guys are going, I feel for Darryl? To me, guys, you shouldn't have that. You should think this is a worthy woman. With all that energy inside of her, imagine what you can unleash in this woman.
Tony knows that Samantha's level of anger and frustration comes from a deep hurt, and that the hurt comes from a loss of love, connection, and trust. He is now taking that anger and loss and redefining it as a problem that can be solved right now. By redefining Sam's anger and frustration as an attractive emotional energy that just needs to be channeled into love and passion, Tony gives both Sam and her husband something to look forward to. Now take a moment to ask yourself, when do you feel frustrated in your relationship? Often the qualities in our partner that we find frustrating are the same qualities that are attractive to us. What would happen if next time you started to feel frustrated, you experienced it as passion and curiosity instead? How would your partner respond?
Because with this kind of fire, if it was properly channeled, holy. And the only reason she's this intense is because she feels so deeply and she's hurting so bad. So she tries to cover it up. She feels so insecure, so insignificant, so uncertain, and so fearful that as a survival technique her entire life, she's been Sam. She does what guys do. Don't communicate, shut down, be angry, and make somebody else wrong.
Tony is not only speaking to Samantha, but he is also engaging her husband, who is present in the room.
Well, even a man could tell me about his mother. And women can do it easily. Children can do it with no effort whatsoever. You said you loved her, or did I mishear you?
I don't know if I do. She's only been in my life for a year.
Did she abandon you at birth? Were you adopted?
No, she left when I was 12.
Okay. Did you know her? Were you living with her up until 12?
Yeah.
Okay. So you knew her then, but you don't know her as an adult. You knew her as a child, but not as an adult?
I don't have any memory past before I was 16.
Okay.
Of mum.
Of your mom. Okay, that's fair. Can
I let go of the chair now?
Yes, absolutely. I actually asked you earlier, but you were concentrating very hard, and I understand that. I know I'm a guy, and it's probably not the right package for you right now. But I'm going to request, if I'm going to go forward with you, just one thing, to be fair to both of us, you stop trying. And what I mean by that, so I'm being very clear, is you either do it or you do it. You don't try to do it, because I know you're more powerful than that. I also know your level of hurt and frustration and sadness is huge, and I really honor you for the level of honesty. You snapped at him not because you don't love him, you snapped at him because you feel hurt by him. And you feel insignificant in his mind. and you feel uncertain about what's happening, and you really have tried. I do believe you've tried for these weeks you're talking about, and probably before that, to be fair to you. I bet you tried
16 years.
16 years. But you're trying to get what or experience what is the thing I'm not clear about. And I hear the frustration you have that you raise your children. It sounds like he doesn't participate at the level you wish he would. Is that true?
Yes.
And it sounds like you have a lot of hurt, which you've converted into anger to protect yourself about your mom leaving at 12. Because you weren't as close to your father as your mother, and the person you were closer to left. Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know. I
You don't
have any
remember?
memory.
Okay. Are you close to your father, I guess is what I'm asking.
No.
No. Do you love your father?
No.
Okay. Do you hate your father?
Yes.
Did he rape you?
Yes.
Okay. And how many times?
I got pregnant by him when I was 15.
Okay. And so the anger and rage in you would be very understandable. And the first thing I want to say to you is I'd kill him if I could. And I know he's your father. And your mother wasn't there to protect you. And you don't have memories probably because there are probably some experiences that probably aren't worth remembering.
I don't know.
And so now you're in a relationship with a man who did not rape you, I don't think.
No.
In fact, my bet is that he really loved you and that's why he connected with you. But he's clueless as what to do with all this anger in you, and he's probably scared. So what he probably does is meet your anger with anger or just shut down. One of the two is my bet. Or he tries to please you so much that you don't respect him. That'd be the other option. Which one does he do? Probably not the pleasing one.
He shuts up.
Yeah. So then you feel even more alone?
Yeah, because he doesn't talk.
Yeah. So now you have no one to communicate what you've been through.
I don't want to talk about it.
So you
Like,
wanna,
I mean, I don't want to sit down and discuss all that with him.
No, I understand.
It's gone.
But he doesn't understand. I mean, he understands intellectually. I'm sure he's not stupid. Why you would be angry. I mean, he'd be angry. He'd want to kill someone. And why you could snap into it. Because what anger comes from is feeling like love was taken from you unfairly, consistently.
Tony now understands why Sam is so hurt and doesn't have trust. Love was taken away from her by her mother, who abandoned her, and by her father, who raped her. The parents' betrayal made it difficult for Samantha to trust anyone, and now she has lost trust for her husband as well. Tony decided right then to respect Sam's wish not to focus on her past, and to focus instead on rebuilding her relationship skills with her husband. Currently, they have little heartfelt understanding, and they aren't giving each other what they need. Therefore, they can't create trust and respect. Once they have a base of trust and respect, they will be able to reclaim their passion for each other, harness their courage, create alignment, and develop an inspiring new example for their life. Now take a moment to ask yourself, are there areas in your life or your relationship where you don't feel trust or don't feel trusted by your partner? Was there a moment in your past where you felt that love was being taken away? How did you react? What did you decide to do?
When people get tired of feeling worthless, they get angry so they can say, it's not that I'm worthless, it's that you're all f***ed up. And that's what you even did with these people around here loving you, and I understand why, and me, and I totally understand why. I have not been raped. I've been through some experiences this close to it by other males when I went to that little camp I told you about. So I've had the same fear, but I haven't had to live what you've lived. So I can't say that I feel what you've felt. I can only appreciate what you've been through, and definitely sorry you've gone through it. But I'd love to see you be free, because otherwise that mother gets to be in a position where he knows he's got space in your brain, body, and heart for as long as you live.
But I don't think about that.
I know you don't consciously. And you probably don't think about being raped, but you think about the fact that you've not been loved at the level you want and deserve. Is that fair?
Could be.
Could be, okay, that's fair. I appreciate you being honest. You're not positive. And one of the reasons you wouldn't be positive is to think about that. Even that hurts a bit.
We will see that not feeling loved enough is exactly at the core of Sam's predicament.
So thank you for your courage for that, and thank you for your honesty with this piece. And there's a place we can weave to where you can start to have freedom. And I'm not suggesting you'll never have pain again or you'll never be pissed off. I think those things have actually served you. Those muscles now are overdeveloped though. You know, if you overdevelop your bicep, your tricep gets out, and then all of a sudden this neck muscle's out, and then all of a sudden you got a problem right here at the base of your skull, and then that runs right down your back, and now you got back problems. And before you know it, you react to everything because you're in pain all the time. And I wasn't talking about your body just now. So, how would you know if Darryl loved you?
Tony is asking Samantha what specifically has to happen for her to feel loved. She needs to be clear on this in order to know what she is asking for in the relationship. Take a moment to ask yourself, what has to happen for you to feel loved? What do others have to do for you to really feel loved?
How would I know?
I mean, he really loved you. Has he gone and screwed around with another woman?
No.
How would you know if he loved you? Do you know he doesn't, or do you know he does?
Sam's response confirms that not feeling loved is the deeper source of her anger and frustration. This will be Tony's primary focus from now on.
Darryl, what she's really trying to do is get you to show up to be a man instead of a pussy. I know you're scared because you love the woman, you don't know what to do. So you know what to do and you run inside your little cave. I know that's not who you are as a man. I'm not making a comment about you as a man. I'm just telling you the reason I can tell you that.
He's not a pussy. He's got everything he wants.
Really? He doesn't have you happy? More importantly, first of all, how many think a smile is the sexiest thing on a woman? Raise your hand if that's right. Second question, well, when your woman's totally unhappy, how do you feel no matter what? Say it out loud. Well, there's that word again. Now, I didn't coach them on that word. It was a universal response in the English language. You're unhappy, I'm shit. So these men who seemingly don't care are more like you. They get angry, pissed off, or internal, but what they really do is they feel unworthy and unloved, and they are in survival. That's where he is. He wants to please, but probably thinks he can't, then nothing will work. True or false?
If he...
There's the answer. It's not in your head. The answer is in his face. It's not what he tells me. You can see, and he's nodding his head. He's scared. He doesn't look scared because he's a man. He's not supposed to.
Research shows that a withdrawing and stonewalling husband is frequently the kiss of death for a marriage. In troubled couples, it is typical that one withdraws while the other pursues, even though the pursuit may be felt as an attack. The more one withdraws, the more the other pursues, and the more one pursues, the more the other withdraws. Knowing that this is the vicious cycle that he will have to change, Tony redefines Darryl's stonewalling as an expression of hurt or fear, and Samantha's attacking pursuit as the expression of the need to be loved. Ultimately, the way to break the vicious cycle is to strengthen each partner to get them to see clearly the other's behavior as an expression of the need to be loved, and for the partners to then commit to give the other what they need.
This woman's a lover. She's been waiting her whole life to be with a man she could trust and give her soul to. She couldn't even trust her own father. And I know you love her, I can see it in your eyes. But your behavior scares her because she's already so raw, you could touch her with a feather and she'd go. And you've done more than a feather. You've been pissed, you've lost it, you've gone inside, you've run, you've done your work where you can feel significant again and certain. Tell me if I'm wrong, okay? So you got a great woman. This woman has been hurt, and some part of you knew it and probably saw her at a time she was sensitive and wanted to give to her. That's my bet. My bet was she has a beautiful face and a great body and all those things. I'm sure you saw those things, but my bet is you saw a heart that was hurting, and as a man, you felt called to give to her, but now you feel like a failure.
Tony has brought up a point that is crucial to understand in relationships. When the woman is unhappy, many men will blame themselves. Far from being insensitive, men are often hypersensitive to the woman's emotional state. When men feel they cannot make their partner happy, They become frustrated and try to distract themselves from their frustration by going into defensive behaviors, withdrawal, anger, or focusing on work to enhance their self-esteem. These defensive behaviors are destructive and decrease trust. But it is important for women to understand that underneath these behaviors, men still want to love and be loved. What men need to learn is that their greatest feeling of self-esteem and significance will come from their ability to continue loving their woman through any problem or upset.
Darryl, how much of what I said is true?
No, 100% true.
Okay. What attracted you to this woman?
I was working with her, and there was just something about her that stood out, and I just fell for it straight away.
And what kind of feelings were generated in you when you were around her?
Oh, just awesome.
Yeah, and these are guy responses, one-liners, awesome, great, felt good. This is a guy. Women hate this shit. Like, well, what does that mean? Great, awesome. How many women are like, come on, give me more than awesome, come on, let's listen to that. So Darryl, we're gonna train you in a new language. It's called communication. Most men don't know anything about it.
That's what she wants.
That's right. But also, honestly, it's a part of you that has to be developed. Not just for her, for you. It's time to become a man who can have his center so strong that he can say the truth.
Tony wants to strengthen Darryl so he can turn their relationship around by standing strong and communicating his commitment to Samantha. Building trust follows 5 stages, each building on the other. The basis of trust is your commitment to put your partner's needs first. You cannot build trust and respect when you are focusing on yourself and putting yourself first. You cannot say that you'll create trust once you've gotten what you want. You must start from the very beginning by declaring your absolute commitment to your partner. For instance, you can say, "I love you too much to argue with you. I don't want to hurt us. I'm hurting inside, so I can only imagine how it's hurting you. I love you, and I will take care of you no matter what." The second stage is to create the heartfelt emotions that will bring healing and love. Intellectual commitment is not enough. You must generate the feelings that will bring reconciliation. Instead of focusing on your own needs, get out of yourself and into your heart. This creates a powerful antidote to the emotions of anger and upset. Once you are in a heartfelt emotional state, go to stage 3, where you tell the truth about your fears. Share your feelings without blaming your partner, and listen in a heartfelt way without trying immediately to fix the situation. Your partner will give you honest feedback, which is a sign of how successfully you have met your partner's needs. Your partner may express doubt, hesitation, regret, or disappointment. When this happens, don't beat yourself up. Instead, show your loving determination to put your partner first and to honor his or her need for love. The 4th stage is to align with your partner and to create a compelling future. Hear your partner's requests, learn about your partner's needs, and give him or her a loving response. It is good to repeat your declaration and to align your interests in a shared vision, a compelling future for both of you. Trust is built by repeating and reinforcing these 4 levels, from commitment to generating loving emotion, to sharing and listening and giving a loving response, and to aligning for a common future. The 5th stage is always to end difficult conversations with an act of love. If you cannot end on a loving note, then you have not succeeded in building trust. You don't fully understand your partner, and your partner probably doesn't feel understood. Go back to stages 1, 2, and 3 until you have heartfelt understanding and you are truly putting your partner's needs first. At this point, Tony will lead Samantha and Darryl through an exercise that strengthens all 5 stages of trust: commitment, creating loving emotions, sharing alignment, and giving an act of love.
And I want you to breathe, and I want you to feel your center as you're breathing. but not a harsh, just feel it. And then I want you to put your focus on your heart. And I want you to imagine breathing in your heart. Close your eyes and just imagine breathing in your heart. And even though there's all kinds of other things going on, every time you have a thought, just only see your heart breathing. And would you do this also, just for a moment, just for your physiology? Yeah, thank you. Would you stand and just breathe comfortably? And I'd like you to put your hand on your heart, both of you, if you would. Put your hand on your heart. What I'd like you to do, with your eyes closed, is breathe deeply in your heart, continuously. See the power of your heart. Breathe the power of your heart. And I'd like you to imagine love in your heart, vibrating with no fear, like the love that maybe if you believed there was a God or you believed something gave you the gift of life, that heartbeat of love was there. A totally safe love. A love that was about giving and not taking, just truly. And just feel your heart and feel love in the heart. Feel it, see it, breathe it. Every breath should feel more powerful in your heart, more full. Feel like you're channeling the breath into your heart. And just enjoy the feeling of your heart. Picture it, see it, feel your heart. That's it. And now I want you to think of a happy moment in your life, at any age, any moment, but a moment that you were grateful for, a moment of gratitude, a moment that felt like, wow, I love this moment. Any moment at all. As a child, as an adult, when you had a child, anytime, a moment. And now I'd like you to think of a moment with this partner of yours. And I want you to think of a moment that was happy, that both of you were lit up. Did you ever have something that's so silly you couldn't stop, you laughed till you coughed, or a place where you got the giggles when you weren't supposed to? There you go. Because in your heart, you'll have answers. As you keep touching your heart and breathing in it, I'll tell you something they found out 5 years ago. Man won a prize for it. Whenever you can't figure it out, when you're stressed, they can measure the electrical response of your brain and heart, and they're radically different. But when you breathe in your heart for 2 minutes, they go in sync, and your brain gives you answers you could never get in that other state. It's a technique. It's called heart activation. It even changes your hormones. So breathe it, because in this state, you'll have a different answer. You'll both have pain from your past. Her pain is obvious, but I know you've had it too, Darryl. And she knows that some part of her loves you and has seen that pain, has wanted to heal it for you too, but she feels like a failure because you shut up so much. I'm just wondering, if you both went to your heart, what would happen? Stay in your heart and ask yourself, what do I need to let go of in order to solve this problem? What belief do I need to let go of? What's a belief that's outlived its usefulness? Maybe there's another belief you need to let go of. What's the other belief? That if you let go of it, your relationship will go to another level. Belief about how your partner's supposed to be or has to be, or what they don't do or never do or won't do. Or a belief about, I've tried everything. What's the belief that just needs to go? And breathe in your heart and feel free. Give yourself freedom. Freedom comes when you get rid of the slavery of an old belief and you just let it go. You have the right to keep this belief, but it's hurting you and you know it. It's hurting yourself and maybe hurting people you love. Maybe even your children without you realizing it, because they see and hear everything, even if they're toddlers. And as you do that, I want you to remember a young child that you loved. And I want you to see yourself as a baby, because all babies are loved. Even mothers that are screwed up love their babies, because their biochemistry requires it. That's why they don't leave till later in life usually, even if they're scared of the man they're with. See a young little baby you. Go up and give him a big hug. Tell her or him, you know what, it was a tough road, but we made it. I'm on the other side, I'm gonna take you there so you don't have to go through this anymore. Give her a big hug and kiss, or him, bring him inside you. Bring him inside you right now. Breathe in your heart. And then ask yourself, what do I need to let go of Or what do I need to believe now instead about my life, about this situation, about my partner, about myself that would free me? What new belief do I need? That if I took it on, I'd breathe deeply in my heart now. Breathe deeply in my heart now. That's it. And what would I do if I wanted to get through to this person? If I'm just gonna let go of it and get through to them. Darryl, what would I do if it was in my heart and I wasn't fearful? I knew whatever she said, that when she screamed at me, she was just screaming at me to see whether or not she could trust me to keep loving her. When I keep coming towards her instead of running away, she's looking for an oak tree, an immovable force that'll be there to shade her during her hot and hurtful times. Someone who will embrace her even when she's hurting and crazy and unfair, just as you've been. Some part of you knows this can still be made right, but it's gonna take you showing up as a man. She's been through pain no human being deserves to go through. No one. That little Samantha never should have had to become Sam. It's unfair, but you can heal her. Will you? Will you love when it's impossible to love? Will you hold her when she wants to run and feel her heart? Will you dig through that pain and know it's not about you? When she screams, know it's about the past, even though she calls you the name. If you will give yourself the gift to heal, the love that's inside you that's been building up your entire life can heal others. You stood up not just for yourself, not just for your children, not just for your husband, but there are many who would not have the courage to stand up, who have so much hurt inside them. They call it hate, but it's hurt. They call it anger and frustration, but it's hurt. And hurt is just sadness. And you, if you choose to, can be an instrument. You can, if you choose to, heal them with not just your courage. I know you have courage. I mean your faith. A trust that you've had before, but at a deeper level where you don't have a limit to that trust. And I know you don't know me, and you may think I'm just saying this, and I'm okay if you don't trust me. But one man you can trust, even though you've had pain, is the man who stands behind you. You can trust him because he loves you. He's seen the real you behind all of this. That's why he's still here. He's scared he's not enough for you, Samantha. He's scared he's not doing what you need. He's right, he hasn't up until now. But he is enough, he just needs to do some things so you can trust. Darryl, I want you to imagine while you breathe in your heart, she screams the worst things you never want to hear. And I'm leaving you, go be by yourself, you son of a bitch. You take care of the children, I've done everything for you. And as she's saying it, what you got to look and see this little girl called Samantha, because that's who she really is. Samantha Judy. And when she's screaming that, you don't have to run. The more she screams, the more she loves you. Otherwise, she wouldn't care. She's screaming because she's screaming to you, please love me. Please show me you care. Please help me through my scary time. And maybe it's time now to make some decisions. Do you love this person enough to love yourself? To let go, to forgive. I bet you're not against giving. I bet you're for giving. Maybe it's your mama, crazy that she was. But if we can forgive others, we can really know we can forgive ourselves. Because Samantha would say to you, she doesn't blame herself, but she does. She thinks I should have been more, should have been something. And then she stops doing that and hates these other people. Can you imagine how her father was? He wanted love so badly and felt so unworthy that he went to a child. He went because he felt so much love in her. He didn't know how to deal with it. I can only imagine what his life was really like that no one probably will ever know. I'm not defending what he did, it's disgusting. But I can't understand that something in his life made him feel so unworthy of love. He had to go to a child who he thought would be safe. And Samantha's a lover. So even though she's scared, at some level, he felt like maybe she loves me. And now he lives in eternal hell. If he's alive, he's in eternal hell, that's for sure. Because no matter how much he acts like he doesn't have guilt about it, the pain she feels, I guarantee he has at a different level. Because at some level, she knows it's not her fault, even though she blames herself sometimes. How does it feel to breathe in your heart continuously for a long period of time? I'll tell you this, when you're talking to someone and they get angry, they're always in their head. Your head is where you get tricked by your memories of the past, but your heart is in the present. And everything can be felt and solved and shared and loved in the present. Your heart is your power. Samantha has more heart than anybody you're gonna meet in your lifetime, probably. May look like anger. I love her willfulness, honestly. I mean, it's like standing over that chair for 20 minutes and refusing to bend. I love that. God, how many women have that kind of drive inside them? I can only imagine when you finally get her to know that you are her man and will never leave her no matter what she says or does, and you will worship her soul. You're in for an experience you will never forget. And I don't just mean sexual, I mean an aliveness. Because frankly, Darryl, you've been dead for a long time. And you need this Spitfire. Because just going to work and achieving and being significant and certain and doing your thing and, you know, getting stimulated however, that is dead compared to what this woman can give you. There's no amount of life you'll ever experience that'll compare to what Samantha can give you when she opens. And I'm wondering if you're man enough to open her. So decide what you're gonna do. What would you do? Not just say, but do. And by the way, as soon as you do it, she won't trust you. Because women are always testing. You'll do it and they'll go, yeah, he's doing it now, but will he do it later? And just when you're in the best state, she'll do something to just piss you off, just to see if she can take you out of your center. But my guess is you've walked on fire. And my bet is that there's a center inside of you that doesn't even have to be intense. My bet is there's a part inside of you that's got such a big heart, that's why she picked you. She knows you're right, even though she's scared. She knows. Now, if I asked her, she'd say, no. She'd look at you and go, how's that feel? But she's just saying, please, please don't disappoint me again. Please show me I would pick the right man, even though it hasn't looked that way for years, please. She's trying to take a baseball bat to your hard head. Because you're so in your head, it's time to come to your heart. Now, if you could see her right now, in her face, there's a softness in her face that my guess is you saw a long time ago, and it's unbelievably beautiful. And I'm not commenting and stroking her. As everyone opens their eyes, having decided what they're going to do, look at her face on the screen and tell me there isn't beauty in this face that is extraordinary.
The realization led Samantha to feel for the little child that she had been, whom she didn't even remember. The little child she could now care for and love. For Darryl, the strong message was to step up and be man enough to never withdraw his love, even in the most difficult times. We will see now how difficult it is for Darryl to hear this message.
What can you tell me? Or what can you tell this woman you call your lady?
I think the biggest thing I can do for her is let her go. Let her be herself instead of trying to hold her back.
And how are you holding her back?
I think through my fears of losing her.
So does she really want to go?
Deep down, I don't think so, but yeah, she's told me she had.
Do we have a bighorn? Wrong answer, just failed class number 1. You just went right there and said the very thing that would make her most fearful.
Now we know why Samantha doesn't trust her husband. When the going gets tough, he gives up on Samantha. You can see her losing all hope as she hears this. Tony must act quickly in order to give this relationship a chance.
If you know that she really doesn't want to leave, then letting her go is what she's afraid you'd do. Because in her head, if you really loved me, you wouldn't let her go. You'd do whatever it took to get through to her.
All this time, Tony has been evaluating Darryl's feelings for Sam. He is certain that Darryl still loves her, so he will now help Darryl to take a strong position to win Samantha back.
What you really did was, in a heartful place, you went to a sacrifice. I'll lose my love in order for her to feel whole. And I respect that you're willing to sacrifice. I know that was an act of love you just said, but in a feminine mind, that wasn't a moment of sacrifice. That was a moment of you just giving up. So you need to start thinking and understanding that she will interpret what you're doing from your heart to try to love her as being someone who could never open her. So let's try another answer. What do you think would be the best thing you could do? But this time, I'd like you to grab your balls. Okay, very nice. And I'd like you to say, I'm a man.
I'm a f***ing man.
That's right.
Darryl has old feelings of frustration that he has not been able to give Samantha the love that she craves. However, by lingering in frustration, he is putting himself first and ignoring Samantha's needs. As long as he is frustrated and threatening to leave, Samantha will never trust him, and he will never feel appreciated. He needs now to commit to Samantha, to give up the option of leaving her, and to build up his determination to give Sam the love that both he and she want to experience. This is stage 1 of rebuilding trust. Commit and declare.
What does Samantha need? What does Sam need?
She needs my love.
That's right. And how does it need to show up differently than in the past? What does she need?
She needs me to be there.
And how will you be there? When it's easy?
When it's easy, when it's hard, every time, all the time.
How would you be there when it's easy, when it's hard all the time? How? How will you be there? How will you be there? What would you do differently than you've done in the past?
Listen to her.
And how would you listen? Would you listen in fear or listen where you kept sending energy into her body? Where the more energy she sent at you, the more you turned around and sent it into her, loving her. Where you saw a little girl inside of her and you just kept loving her. Where she could see it in your eyes. Where she could breathe it. Come here now. Come up on the stage. Come here now. Give me a hand. Come here now.
Darryl has a habit of becoming emotionally overwhelmed and losing his commitment to his wife. In other words, he is not putting her first, and he is trying to escape her suffering by offering to let her go. Tony is calling Darryl on stage to strengthen his powers of commitment to his wife, even in difficult times when he feels defensive and helpless.
I want you to tell him what you're really feeling. And the whole time she does this, I want you totally present. Do you want to give her this present? Yes or no? You want to or you will?
I will.
Great.
What am I going to say?
Tell him whatever it is you're really feeling. Tell him the truth.
Okay.
If you want, you can breathe in your heart. Because I know your head will say things that aren't true.
I'm scared to tell him things because he'll get angry.
I know, honey. I know you're scared. Thank you for that honesty. Please give her a hand for that. You're scared because?
He'll get angry at what I say.
He'll get angry. I'm asking you to trust him right here, because if he does, I'll just punch him. In fact, let's do something before you tell him. Let's try something so we can know we can trust him. We're going to play a game. Come over here with me. Come over here with me. I need another man.
Tony had intended to take Samantha and Darryl to stage 3, sharing, listening, and learning, so that Samantha could communicate her real feelings to Darryl. However, the level of trust in this couple is so low that Samantha is afraid to communicate honestly. Tony will now take Darryl back to stage 1, strengthening his commitment and his ability to be present for Samantha. Learning how to be resourceful in the very moment where he used to emotionally shut down, Darryl will begin by practicing being present for someone else first. Then he can transfer that skill to his relationship with Samantha. Tony will invite a handsome young man as Darryl's partner in order to inspire a sense of challenge in Darryl.
This man has a heart of gold. How many sense it in his eyes and his face? He loves this woman. He was attracted to this woman because he felt she needed him. But now he feels like a failure. What you need and what she needs is presence. So we're going to train you in presence so you can watch and see how he does. This man, Fred, here I picked because he's bigger than you are. But he's not bigger than you are in the heart. He also has heart. I picked him because I watched him, and he's handsome and he's a strong man, but I get that this guy also has heart. That's why I picked him too. So he's going to partner with you. So we're going to play a game. I'll show you what it looks like. I want you to stare at each other. And I want you to feel that your focus is totally to feel everything that's going on in him, to feel it. If you have any other thought, if you have a distraction, if you think about how you're looking, if you think about what the audience is thinking, if you think about your wife, if you think about your past, if you see in him a lack of presence, I want you to smack him as hard as you can. Yeah, that's good.
Presence means complete connection and empathy for what the other person is experiencing in this moment now.
You are going to do the same thing with him. Now, you're doing this not to hurt each other. You're doing it as partners, as buddies, to bring out more presence in each other. So the minute you see him, like his head goes away like he just did a minute ago, I'd smack the shit out of him. Just smack him, okay? Now, and every time you feel it, then your brain's going to want to go somewhere else, but your guy's goal is to stay there. Now, I'm only asking you to do this if you're willing to do it and you know you're really not doing it to hurt each other. You're doing it as men to bring out more presence in each other. Are you willing to do this? Do you want this? Yes, okay, good. So now when you do it, you're not going to hit the head, you're just going to hit the side of the shoulder, a good smack, okay? And then as soon as he does it, if the other guy does it, you smack him, okay? That's good. I know it's bruised, that's good. Okay, he'll do the other side. That's nice of him. Okay, all right, now, can you first see if you can reach each other without having to lean or just smack? Can you smack him? Okay, you're gonna need to come just a little closer on the side so you can smack the shit up. Now, he's got muscle there, but it'll hurt, especially if you snap your finger at the end. It'll leave a nice bruise, so it'll feel good. Okay? I'll tell you when to start. Both of you go into total presence. You are feeling everything inside of him. There is no other thought but him. That's what a woman wants. She wants you to feel it. She says, and you go, that's all bullshit. I feel what's really in her. Feel it. And the minute he breaks total connection with you, smack his arm. The minute he breaks total concentration, you smack him. Go. That was absolutely right. He absolutely was right, so you know. He was right on. In fact, he was about 2 seconds short. He waited. Don't wait next time. Don't be a pussy. Smack him. He was there. You got there. Feel him. Feel everything inside him. Nothing but him. You both have gone out, smack each other. Smack him, he did again. Don't wait. When you see even a slight break, that's what women feel. When you see the most minute change, that's what those women see. Even the most minute change, feel it. Smack him. Okay, stop. These guys need your help. Come here. Move over here. Look at this guy. I want you to smack the shit out of him the minute he breaks presence with you, okay? Feel her. She sees already. Boom, just like that, right? Now, did that piss you off just now? It did a little bit. Come on, tell the truth. When I hit your face. Good. Now don't go to the smile. It's okay to go smile too, but good. That's it. Good, 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 good. Really good. Thank you. As soon as he breaks presence, smack him good right here. No. Guys, just take it in. The minute you feel like a presence, honey, if it's not there to start with, smack him to start with. Yeah, that's right. Look, don't look at me, look at her. Go. The minute there's like a presence, smack him. That's right. You get in there. I know, honey. Did you hear what you said? What'd you say? Say what you said.
He's clenching his mouth inside.
He's clenching his jaw. So when he's clenching his jaw, what do you feel?
That he's pissed off.
Yeah, he's in here about him, right, instead of with you. See what you get? What's that? What's that? He did a good job then, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a hand. Nice job. Can you feel that? Now, what did you feel that when you were succeeding?
Yeah.
What was different?
I was just concentrating in her eyes and just thinking about all that she'd been talking about down there and just trying to feel her pain.
Trying to feel her pain. He was trying to feel her pain. Look at that, what that did. That's what she needs from you. Give him a hand. You're a good man. Sorry. I'll tell you when to start. Did you hear what he did? He thought about everything. Just like I did, I felt what she was feeling. I went inside and felt her. You can do that more than any human. I know he's good looking. I know he's young and all those things. She might even be stimulated by that, but you know what she's stimulated by? Presence. Presence means you're able to go inside no matter what she's doing, smacking you, yelling at you, and feeling what really is going on in her pain and loving her. You'll find it in here and you'll feel it in here.
Now that both Darryl and Samantha have had some practice, Tony will take them to the next stages of building trust. Darryl will move from stage 1, commitment, to stage 2, creating heartfelt emotion by giving Samantha his full attention and his determination to feel what she is feeling. Samantha will give him feedback by slapping his arm when he loses presence. Darryl must take this not as a criticism, but as a request for even more heartfelt understanding, determination, and commitment from him. Watch them now.
That's it, good. What did he do just then?
At me in disbelief.
He was looking at you in disbelief. Now he's going, I wasn't in disbelief. I can't believe you didn't believe. I was believing it. Doesn't matter. That's how she feels about it. Reach in and feel her pain. Remember everything she's been through. Look in her eyes. Love her through her pain. Oh, why did you just swallow just like that just now? Why are you smiling right now? Tell me what just happened to you. Rubbing the little neck here. Well, what is all that? What happened?
I'm still worried that he's going to get shitty that I brought him into this.
Yes. So you weren't present. That's not your job. I was just having fun. When she does that, go deeper. By the way, can I ask you an honest question? You said it's because you were thinking, oh, I hope he doesn't get upset with me later about this. But you also felt his presence in that moment. You're afraid it wouldn't last. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
She smiled because she felt his presence, but then she immediately went, it won't last, he'll be pissed about this later. No, he's gonna be pissed at me. Look at this bruise I got. You didn't do that, I did it, okay? He actually wants every bit of this. There's a man in front of you, and I know you just felt it. The man you picked. If you want, don't believe it, but feel what you feel. Go deeper.
He wasn't being serious.
He wasn't being serious. Oh, so your idea of centered is only serious?
I don't know.
Is that you not really feeling? Is that you being in your head or your heart? This game doesn't work if you're in your head, because then you'll just slap him all the time. True? So if you're in your head, then I know you're not really giving him feedback. You're just doing shit. You have to be in your heart, otherwise that smack isn't fair.
Samantha's responsibility here is not only to give feedback, but also to remain open to Darryl's efforts. It would be easy for her to put herself first and to stop listening to him, but that would make trust impossible. While remaining honest about her feelings, she must also be sensitive to Darryl's good intentions.
So go to your heart, because the truth is, I was watching and you lied that time. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong. His eye winked.
The last one or the one before?
The last one.
Okay, the one before I'm talking about.
No, that was a big wink.
A wink?
A big movement.
A movement?
Yeah.
Okay, so no movement is presence? Well, we better think about this. Is no movement presence? Is he supposed to stare and not have any movement, or is he supposed to be feeling and present with you?
Yeah.
So if all we're looking for is movement, then we have no connection to the heart, and we can't even feel when he's loving us. Now we're being a man. Men are that dumb. They think that appearances are what's really going on. They do. They're not bad people. You're feeling all this, and they believe you when you go, I don't want to talk about it. They actually believe that because they look at the appearance. I'm not asking you to look at him. I'm asking you to feel him. And I want you to go deeper, and I want you to rip her open emotionally with your love. Where it doesn't matter what she does, you're here to love her forever. And you breathe through it, and there's a part of you that's proud that you can do this, because very few men could ever dream of doing this, but you can. You've decided to.
When working on stage 2, generating heartfelt emotion, there are 3 things to focus on. First, focus on your partner's positive intent, that what he or she really wants is love. Second, go into your heart where you are not judgmental. Third, remind yourself and flood yourself with thoughts of gratitude, dedication, pride in your courage, and your hopes for the future. These steps will make you stronger emotionally so you can rebuild trust.
Enjoy going into her and feel her. Feel what she's feeling right now. Feel what she's feeling. Feel her. Look in her eyes and feel her. Feel what's going on inside her. Not what she tries to do with her face, not what she says. What's really going on in her? What's she really feeling? Feel her. Don't just think it, feel it. When's the last time you had this much presence from this man?
I don't think I ever truly have.
How does this feel?
Good.
Good? How does it really feel?
Fantastic.
You can smile and enjoy that and keep taking her in. Keep taking her in. Now tell him what you're afraid to tell him. Give me this microphone. Tell him what you're afraid to tell him. And stay here and remember, whatever she says, she's lying. And all that's happened for years doesn't matter, because the moment you come to her presence, she will feel you. And when you're willing to love her, when she seems crazy, she'll trust you. And when she trusts you, she'll open to you. When she opens to you, you're gonna feel like a man again, totally alive, and you're gonna be able to heal her heart with your love. And then as soon as you think you got it made, she's gonna test you. She's gonna say something to hurt you. Her job is to try to hurt you. Your job is to show nothing will ever hurt me because I love you. You can fake all you want. You can scream, you can yell, you can smack me. I own your soul and you're never getting away. I will take care of you forever. Or something like that. Tell him what you're afraid to tell him.
Having elicited Darryl's depth of feeling for Samantha, Tony now moves to stage 3, sharing, listening, and learning. Because Samantha's deepest issue is her lack of trust and her fear of abandonment, Tony asks her to express to Darryl her worst fears. We will see whether Darryl's commitment and heartfelt presence will be strong enough to withstand how Samantha really feels.
I'm afraid you're going to make me a person that I don't want to be. You've already done that. I feel that you've already done that. I'm not happy with myself. I don't have any confidence. I don't have any self-esteem. It's you that's kept me back.
What's that?
It's him that is his constant negative crap in the house all the time.
The more she does this, become more of a man. A man that's like, I love you. And when she says, don't you get, whatever it is, just...
You can try and break me, but you won't. I love you too deep.
That's it.
Then why don't you show it? Why don't you show it? Why do you got to argue all the time? Why do you got to do things behind my back all the time? Why do you got to tell the kids when I sat down and we decided that we weren't going to be together, that I had to take the blame? And you told the kids that I was cruel for telling them. You didn't take any responsibility for that. None.
Tell the truth. Feel your heart. Stay strong. Love her.
I'm afraid that our boys are going to be like you, and the thought of them treating their wives how you treat me repulses me.
Do, say whatever your heart would do or say, and stay loving her every second.
Keep breaking.
Now Samantha is giving Darryl her core fears about their life. Ask yourself, what is she asking of Darryl in this moment? What request is she making? Is she rejecting him, or is she asking for more love and consideration? Darryl still thinks of these criticisms as attempts to break him. He needs to work on stage 4, align and create vision. He needs to align with her and her complaints in order to declare his love and commitment, to learn her needs and to work on a common vision for them. As you listen to Samantha, focus on what her needs are in that moment.
I'm scared that our girls are going to be with someone like you, controlling, nasty, not loving.
Remember why she's saying all
Say,
this.
when we have sex, the only thing you don't do is put the money on the counter. There's no closeness there. There's nothing.
She's doing everything she could say to hurt because she's hurting so bad and saying, do you really love her? Because most men would have run.
If you did, I wouldn't be feeling like this. You would be
She's
showing me, you would be
She's got a hell of a
supporting
bag,
me.
doesn't she? She's got a great bag of tricks. I mean, it's not working, so she's going deeper. All the stuff that would make you feel guilty and bad. And you may have even done some of those things.
No, you've never felt guilty, that's the problem.
You may have felt those things, but that won't make it better. What you got to do instead is you got to show that you hear her in your heart, that you feel her, and what you will do.
Every communication can be taken in 2 ways, as a comment and as a request. While Samantha is commenting and complaining about Darryl's failure to make her happy, she is also requesting him to wake up and take care of her. Darryl has been focusing on Samantha's communication as a complaint. That is why he has been so defensive. Now he must see her communication as a request, as an expression of her needs.
Do say whatever you want, or keep listening, whatever you think is right now, but keep loving her every second. And know that all these words are a call to you to be her man. What else you want to tell him?
That I wish you get off your ass and do something. You whinge and moan and groan about your health, but you do nothing. But when I try and do something, then you complain because I'm half an hour late and, gee, I might be talking to another man. God forbid. Then you tell me what I have to wear or what I don't wear. Or, are you wearing that out? You're not going to wear that out on the street, are you? I can't even be myself.
Keep coming, baby.
Oh, just because you love me like this, Darryl, and you can say that you love me forever. This is fine and dandy, but you're still not showing it.
For the first time, Samantha admits that she knows that Darryl loves her.
So we go home and we continue to be exactly the same as you are, and just because you look in my eyes and I can see that you love me, it's still okay for you to treat me like that? Can you respond to that?
He can.
Can you respond to that?
I'll show you love. I'll show you love you'd never seen before.
Why are his eyes watering? He's still present, though, even though his eyes are watering. And notice what you did with her. What happened to that woman who was just screaming right now? What's that water squeezing out? There's only a few places water can come out in a public place and be okay. This is one of them. Why will you show her love? In new ways, in different ways. First of all, have you been controlling at times?
Yes.
All the time.
At times.
All the time.
All the time.
Even to what time I have to go to bed.
As long as Darryl resists Samantha's complaints, she cannot feel fully understood by him. In this exercise, Darryl must acknowledge all of Samantha's feelings, whether he agrees with them or not.
What else?
Don't go behind my back and do things. Don't get another $10,000 credit card without me knowing. Or order ovens for things and when we've discussed we're doing things differently. Don't do that.
Bring it on, baby. Come on. You can do better.
Yeah, but you want me to go deeper?
He's asking for it.
Bring it on.
See, even that smile's trying to get you. She's run out of shit, isn't she? Look at her.
I'm there for you.
But you're not. You haven't been. I want to do something that's wrong or it's not right. Or not that way. When's the last time that you have compromised your ways to make me happy?
Would you really respect him if he did that all the time? Do you really want a man
It would
who will
show
do...
me that there's some compromise in the marriage.
Is
isn't.
compromise what you want in your marriage? Or
Yeah, I'd like some compromise, thanks. Yeah, so I don't feel like I'm getting walked on every day.
No, I agree with that. Do you want to not feel like or do you want to have a life that's about compromise? Because there is a big difference. And I know when you're upset, we tend to generalize, but it'd be important to figure out what you really want. Because my bet is if he always gave you what you want, you'd have zero respect. And if you say you want a man, then he has to be able to make some decisions and choices, not because he's just going off and making them, because he's looking out for you and him.
Although Darryl must understand his mistakes from the past, he cannot take the position of someone who is always wrong. This would only make him weaker. Tony's making sure that both Samantha and Darryl understand that. In order to take full responsibility for Samantha's well-being, Darryl must remain strong and decisive.
And if he can never make those decisions and it always feels like he's controlling, then what you really want is somebody who you can have no polarity with. Continue.
No, he's been himself because he's gotten everything he's wanted.
Are you asking or telling?
We have, haven't you? We had to
I haven't
move.
got
I
your
took
love.
the kids out of school.
I haven't got true love.
How
I
can I
haven't
give
been
it
in
when
your heart yet.
Ooh, what did he just say?
What?
I haven't been in your heart yet.
You're a bastard.
That's good, that's good.
This is the first time Darryl has communicated his feelings, and Samantha is overreacting. He must again strengthen his heartfelt commitment to her, continue to communicate honestly, and align with her in a position of trust.
You mean I've gone through 16 years of this for nothing? Oh my God. This is all for nothing?
I want to get into
You
your
think
heart.
I've enjoyed putting up with your crap? You think I just did it because I like it?
You're not going to push me away.
Oh, for f***'s sake.
Feel her and feel what she needs. Give her what she needs, truthfully, with authenticity, with integrity, from your heart.
Off. That. You think I've been here for 16, 17 years in this relationship because you haven't had my heart? I give everything to you, Darryl. Everything. Jesus.
Did you say that she didn't give you her heart? What did you say? You might want to clarify for her.
I want to get into your heart.
No, you said I've never given my heart.
When a person comes from a place of fear and mistrust because of previous experiences, there is a tendency to misinterpret an expression of love as an accusation. Darryl had said that he had not yet gotten into her heart. Samantha took this as an accusation that she had not opened her heart, that she had not given him her all. This is a deep pain for her and a critical point in the conversation. If Darryl overreacts now, the whole exercise will fail. This is the point when you disagree lovingly with your partner. Darryl must acknowledge Samantha's fears, reassure her that they are not true, and show his determination to get even closer and more intimate with her. He must put Samantha first, overcome her fear, and align with her to create trust.
Just 1 second. When normally you're by yourselves, no one else knows. So when a woman makes it up and gets upset about it, the guy's f***ed. Unfortunately, there are 1,500 witnesses that that's not what he said. What's that?
He doesn't think I've given my all, and I have. Damn well have.
Shh. This is their discussion.
I didn't say you haven't given. I said I want to get into your heart.
Rewind the tape, because that's not what you said. What do I have to do to get you into my heart? Even though you've been there, but you think you haven't. Because I've given all to you. Not just material, but everything.
Breathe and feel what she's really asking you to do. Breathe and feel what she's really wanting right now, what she's needing. And give her the communication that she needs at all levels, verbal and nonverbal.
What haven't I done? To make you feel that, what haven't I done? We pulled the kids out of a remote area, we moved there. We travel. We get into properties like you wanted to
Love
do.
her
You
right
do
now.
everything.
Feel how much you love her.
You do all your courses. You do your CFS. You do everything.
And answer her question from your heart.
I was just running.
Huh?
I've just been running
From?
you.
Just for a moment, can we have a hand for that level of honesty within this man?
Samantha is expressing her lack of feeling of alignment in the relationship. She doesn't feel a part of the decisions he is making and doesn't understand the purpose of the sacrifices he is asking from her. In response, Darryl, for the first time, admits to his habitual pattern of withdrawing from Samantha. This is what he means when he says he has just been running from her. Part of the withdrawing behavior is denying that you are withdrawing. As Darryl admits to his behavior, he is committing to changing it.
See, you've confused me. Yeah, I'm gonna have a breakthrough, yeah. You say that you love me, but you've been running from me. Hello.
Just trying to get inside of you has just been impossible, so it's easy to run and stay and fight.
But while you're running, you're getting everything you want.
I haven't got you.
What was that?
Got me.
Not truly.
Why don't you have her? Tell her why you don't have her. She seems confused. She seems to think that you think you don't have her because she hasn't given. Is that why? Why don't you have her? At the level you want her. You certainly have her, but why don't you have her at the level that you truly want her? Tell her the truth.
Just emotionally.
What's gone on in you that's prevented that from happening? Tell her so she knows. Don't just say you ran. Explain to her what's been going on in you. Why don't you have her at the depth? And how would you know if you had her?
You've always had me.
Love her in your soul while you tell her. Tell her the truth. Be a man and tell her the truth. Why don't you have her heart? What have you been and how will it be different? That's what she needs to know. That's what she's begging to know.
I haven't had your heart because I didn't have the balls to grab it.
And why were you running?
It's easier than staying and fighting.
And that's what she was afraid of. Is that because you didn't love her or because you're a pussy? I'm just curious. Are you still?
No way.
Withdrawal is the approach of a weak, passive person. Admitting his vulnerability puts Darryl in a position of honesty, and honesty is strength.
What are you willing to do to own her heart?
Everything.
Does that mean you're going to give her every single thing she wants, every single moment like a little pussy, or you'll reach in and feel what she really needs? Honor her. Because she'll tell you shit she doesn't need and doesn't want. She'll tell you she doesn't want to talk. If you give her everything she wants, she won't be able to trust you. Why should this woman trust you when you've been so untrustable for so long? Because you can't trust someone who's going to run. That's what she's scared of. Everybody else ran. Her mother ran. That's her deepest fear. But something in her knows that she can trust you, even though you haven't shown it. Somewhere she saw your soul. That's why she's still here. And all she's doing is begging you, prove it to me. Don't just prove it while you're standing here on the stage. Prove it to me. Make my soul feel that you know how it was and you know you're going to make it right. Not that you're going to be perfect, but that you're going to stay here with me when I'm a crazy bitch, because I'm going to be. That smile you gave was very good at that moment, and hers too.
I'll be here for anything you want. Respect, I've never given.
I'm still confused. What have I done to make you feel like you haven't been in my heart? What haven't I done?
Is it her or has it been you? Just tell her the truth.
I think it's been you. You won't let me in.
Why? What do I have to do?
Now I want you to come back to being a man, because for a moment you went to being a little boy. It's just totally understandable. Because you have worked so hard to be in her heart. But you as a boy think that she's your mama, and mamas are going to give love no matter what. Mamas don't do it the way wives do, and lovers do. Lovers go like this to see, do you really love me? And when you got like this, you went, oh, I'm hurting, and you left. But if you could just go, you know in sports, somebody hits you because they respect you. Unless you hit back, in this case, the hit back is love through it, you never get to the touchdown. It's not that you haven't been to the touchdown, it's that you've been so afraid and you've expected her to open. Her job is not to open, your job is to open her. And there is a way. Eyes, words, touch, hands, actions. And I respect you so much for what you said, because no human being, male usually, would ever admit that he didn't give her the respect. But you didn't give her the respect because you were so what?
So weak.
And hurt. Because you were loving her and you didn't feel she loved it, so you got scared, and so your defense mechanism was to be disrespectful. Same as yours. It does take two to tango. And there's a heart inside of you. Now that you've lived in your head for about 45 minutes, enter your heart. I know you've been back and forth to it, but go home to your heart. That's the real home. The head will always make you crazy. And you, my dear friend, stop talking to her head. It's time to go get her heart. Don't talk about it, go get it. Whatever that means to you. Ask Samantha, if I may. Can I ask you a question? First of all, give her a hand. This is Samantha, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that face. What are you feeling right now?
Oh, just a lot of relief, and I feel like I can breathe deeper now, and then I'm going to open my heart and let my husband in.
Why, the bastard? He goes out and does these stupid things.
I've been a bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, give her a hand. That's amazing.
Samantha now recognizes the part she played in Darryl's need to withdraw.
That's really beautiful of you to be able to see that. Sometimes it's fun to be a bitch, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want you to take that away, the fun bitch part. You'll keep that, right? Oh, yeah, I knew you would. What happened up here? Tell us what happened.
At first, as you probably thought, I thought it was a load of crap. And in a way, I didn't think I could change my perception of things so quickly. I was looking at my life as like a pie, like an apple pie.
Yes.
And I had a part for my kids, and I had a part for Darryl, and I had a part for this, that, and the other. But there was only one single goddamn crumb left on my plate, and that was for me, and it's obviously not enough. and I need to try and bring back some pieces of pie for myself, and I need to do that. And I need to include, Darryl needs to be, our piece of pie needs to be together. It doesn't need to be separated.
You can decide who he is for you and who you are for him. You can decide what you're going to believe no matter what. No matter what. No matter how hurt, no matter how scary, no matter how it looks like the past, that you're going to stay in the present with this man and love him and be loved by him. Between this man and woman, can they provide certainty for each other every day if they choose to? Yes or no?
Yes.
0 to 10, how much can they give each other?
10.
Can they provide unending variety just because the fact that they're men and women, right? And they're going to look at life differently and make different decisions, positive and negative variety, but variety full tilt. Can they provide that? Yes or no? 0 to 10, how much? 10. Can they, for each other, provide more significance than anything in the world can provide when they look in each other's eyes, or they love each other, or he looks at her and just has presence, or she looks at him and grabs him, or she grabs her, or they make love passionately? How significant can they make each other feel? 0 to 10? 10. How much love could they express to each other? Is there any limit to the amount they could give to one another? Yes or no? In fact, when you're really loving, you don't measure. You don't say, am I getting it back? He went to level, I'm just going to give you love because I love you. And there's a point where you got that you thought, I love him. Yes, he's going to do shit I hate at times, but I love him. Am I right?
Yeah.
So you guys moved up to just giving it. In fact, you were doing things that hurt him, not wanting to hurt him, just wanting to open him, get him to be there, and he loved you anyway. And he's done things that he knows that hurt you, and you just came back and loved him anyway. You just went through a level of growth and contribution to yourselves and each other. That is what that's why you're in a relationship. Because there's no place that'll bring up more fear, and there's no place that'll bring up more growth, and there's no place on earth where you're going to experience more love. Give her a hand. That's so beautiful. Give her a hand.
As Samantha stood up, she was vacillating between anger and frustration and a sense of hesitation and fear. This emotional pattern prevented anyone from helping her and left her on her own. Tony took control of her hesitation by asking her to merely try to pick up a chair. Faced with an impossibility of merely trying to do something, Samantha committed to making a change. She revealed her terrible traumas from her past, but also showed that her main concern was with her marriage. She complained that her husband was controlling, but Tony perceived her deeper pain, that she felt abandoned and misunderstood. The couple was in a vicious cycle. As Samantha expressed her frustration and disappointment, Darryl would withdraw and run away. The more Darryl withdrew, the more angry and abandoned Samantha felt. The only thing to do was to rebuild the couple's 7 relationship skills. Tony invited them on stage to undergo an exercise that would develop Darryl's sense of commitment, determination, and heartfelt understanding. As Darryl became more and more present for Samantha, she was able to communicate and to ask him to account for his past behavior. He was able to admit his weaknesses and to show his determination to change their lives. Tony invited her to express her greatest fears to Darryl, asking him to hold steady. She was able to express all of her fears until she had nothing more to say. Only his love was left at this point, and they embraced. The exercise had allowed Samantha to express her feelings to Darryl, and it gave Darryl an opportunity to show his true strength. They now have a foundation of trust and self-expression which can be the basis for growth, contribution, and love. Here are some assignments for anyone who wants to use the lessons of this film in their life and relationship. There are 2 assignments each for men and for women. For men, the first assignment. Think of a time when your woman was trying to talk to you about something that was important to her, and you refused to listen or pretended to listen but were not really present. Tell her you want to have that conversation again, and this time be present. Listen closely, and don't offer solutions unless she asks for them. Just tell her that you love her. The second assignment. In the future, be alert to when your woman needs attention, to when she needs you to listen and be present for her. She will let you know, most probably in indirect ways. Be watchful, be prepared, and give her the presence and the love she needs. For women, first assignment. Be aware of how important it is for your man to feel that he can take care of you and make you happy. The next time you think he is withdrawing from you, consider that perhaps he feels frustrated. Give him ways to help you feel happy. Second assignment. What has to happen for you to trust your man? Make a list. Think of specific, concrete things that your man can say or do that will lead you to feel greater trust. Tell him.
What do you love about this man?
What do I love about him? He's bloody good in bed. Can I say that? You know,
There's no greater compliment a man can be given, right?
She's got amazing inner beauty. I never saw it ever before. I always looked at the outside and thought, wow, she's fantastic looking, but I never saw the inside. Now I've seen the inside, it's absolutely amazing.